Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. Today's topic is about what's it like to be feeling stressed for no reason at all, and what's behind that, what underlies feeling stressed for no reason at all, and what can we do about it. And so this is kind of on our journey of going through we did envisioning the ideal future, resilience about what happens when things don't go perfectly, what we can do, what kind of strategy we can use, especially talking a bit about our cognitive resilience. What ways can we frame our setback? We tend to think of it as all-encompassing, affecting every single area of our lives. Often we feel alone, that this is something that happens only to me, and we also feel like the consequences are permanent, like whatever has happened is something that is going to last forever. And so this topic is a little bit about what happens when resilience breaks down. So that's the kind of the next step, right? So the first is what happens when my ideal future doesn't happen the way that I've planned it to, and then the next is, well, what happens when so that's where resilience is. And now we ask, well, what happens when resilience breaks down? Because that can be one of the root causes of feeling stressed for no reason. And the reason I brought this topic up is that I was driving a few days ago, and I just felt this kind of inexplicable sense of urgency, and these feelings that I am familiar with, the feelings inside my body that indicate that I'm feeling stressed. And, those are feelings like breathing less deeply, breathing in a shorter way, a bit of tightness in my chest, a tightness in my body, in my frame. And as I noticed that, and I guess I should pause to say this is part of the joy of the mindfulness practice, is that we can, through regular practice, start to get these little glimpses of insight into ourselves that we may not have otherwise noticed. And so in that moment, the fact that I noticed that allowed me to ask that question, well, what is it? What's really going on here? And as I looked through, what was going on in that moment, I couldn't find anything at all that required me to be in an activated state. So it was kind of puzzling and confusing. Why in this moment am I feeling stressed? And as I started to kind of go through it, I came across this, maybe the first idea was, well, is it necessary to really be able to break down exactly what's causing my stress at this moment? And I think that might be, the first thing to do, is just to go, well, if I don't know what's causing it, maybe nothing's causing it. And maybe I can, through my awareness of stress, start to relax a little bit. And so, what's the way to do that is maybe focus on the breath. Possibly, if you have the time to do it, do some short breath work. Do something that can actively manage the stress that you're feeling. And not worry. I mean, in that moment, not being super worried about what it is that's causing it and what's, why necessarily we need to drill down into what it is at the root cause of that. Just manage the stress in the moment. But of course, we may become curious. Well, what is it? What are some of the things that could be causing me to continue feeling stressed without being able to identify the stressor? So, there are a lot of reasons, and that's, kind of the interesting thing here, is that there's no real perfect prescription for feeling stress and not knowing what it is, because there are a lot of things that could be causing that. And the way to minimize it, of course, is to figure out eventually what is the root cause. And one of the root causes that tends to, that as I'm researching tends to pop up is chronic stress. So maybe you just have a lot of things going on in your life. Your body is in that path of getting used to being stressed. And as your body is being stressed all the time, it's expecting to be stressed. And so sometimes our body is stressed just because it's so accustomed to being stressed that that's become its natural state. And I guess I want to also pause here to say, being stressed is not good for your health. You can take a look. There's a lot of research that shows what are the negative health implications of being stressed. It's, body has two modes, right? It's the fight or flight mode and the rest and digest mode. And when we're constantly in the fight or flight mode, our body doesn't have a chance to heal and rejuvenate and to repair and maintain itself. And this can lead to all kinds of physical ailments. So it's not just in the mental realm if we're feeling chronic stress. So just understand that this, right? And what's funny is, as I'm saying this, is you kind of think, well, hey, wait a minute, my stress is causing me to be unhealthy, so now I'm even more stressed. So the stress is causing additional stress, which can tend to happen as well. So that's not really the intention here. It's to cause additional stress, but to be aware. And I think that's really the key of mindfulness here is, can we be aware of what's going on? Let's go back to my story. What I started to discover as I investigated my stress a bit more is that I don't have bipolar disorder. I have not been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. However, one thing I have noticed about myself is that I go through cycles of very high energy, wanting to do things a lot, wanting to get things done, being super motivated, and then also swinging down into times of lower energy, more prone to feeling sad, possibly even depressed, right? Noticing that this kind of cycle tends to happen to me from time to time. And that was something that was, it was a good indicator for me. That feeling of stress for no reason kind of let me know, like, hey, wait a minute, this is one of those high times right now. And so this is really, as I kind of boiled down to it and looked at all the other factors going on in my life, like my motivation, what I'm doing, realizing that that's likely what is going on. And interestingly for me is that awareness itself was the prescription, was that just having that awareness as to what was going on was enough to help to let go of that stress a little bit. And I hope the same works for you. And if it doesn't, if I'm talking about this and you're going, okay, I can't really identify what's going on, one thing that can help is, we did it envisioning the ideal future, is journaling. Just writing down some of the things that are troubling you and spending some time free-flowing, taking a look at some of what it is that might be troubling you. And as you look through it, who knows? It could be, trauma from the past coming up again. It could be you're overwhelmed, you're feeling burned out. And that kind of journaling can help bring awareness as that first step to what it is that's going on. And wow, I see there's some awesome interaction in the chat, and I'm going to get to that after our meditation. So I would like to do just a little bit of meditation here before I go into the chat. And so let's get comfortable. Thanks everybody for your sharing. Do keep it coming. You can feel free to write even during the meditation time, and we'll get to that after the meditation's over. So I would encourage you to sit up. Maybe if you're on a chair that has a backrest, consider bringing your back away from the backrest so that you're sitting up using the muscles of your trunk, of your torso, to keep yourself sitting up straight so that you can help use this posture to be fully awake, fully alive, fully alert as we do our practice today. So begin by noticing the body, noticing the posture. How does the body feel? How do the shoulders feel? Do you find your shoulders hunching forward, or are they open, relaxed? How about the muscles, the trapezius muscles here near the neck? How are those feeling? How about the muscles in the upper back? The muscles in the lower back? The muscles in the abdomen. Can you feel your breath? Can you feel the abdomen expanding and contracting as you breathe? Some of us hold our tension in the abdominal muscles, and we find that it can cause our breathing to be constricted. So sometimes the breathing will be more in the chest or more in the abdomen. Can you notice how you're breathing today? And then scanning up into the face. Is your jaw clenched? Maybe noticing your teeth, if your teeth are touching. Seeing if you can let the jaw relax so that the teeth on the bottom move slightly away from the teeth on top. You can keep your lips closed. Just intentionally allow the jaw to part. Seeing if you can keep breathing through the nose. Notice the muscles around the eyes. See if you can bring awareness to the eyebrows and the forehead. So not trying to relax. Instead, just observing what is today and using it as information about myself. How am I arriving today? How am I approaching this time with myself? After all, this is a time to be completely by yourself and with yourself. Kind of this investigation of self. Who is it that's here today? Are they the same person that showed up yesterday? I'll give you a hint that this person here right now is unique. This combination of hormones and chemicals and thoughts and memories here and now is completely unique. This version of you has never existed before and will never exist again. So can you roll out the red carpet, welcome the me that's here right now, whatever they're like, even if they're full of stress? Can you welcome them with open arms? So take a moment, if you like, to pay attention to the breath. Notice the nostrils. the air moving in and out. Notice the belly expanding and contracting as you breathe. And see if you can hold your attention here on the body. And from time to time, you'll notice that your mind wanders. Start thinking about things, maybe even wondering, like, well, why am I focusing on my breath? So just noticing whenever that inner monologue comes up, and as best you can, refocusing your attention back to your body. And so now, if you like, you can keep focusing on the natural rhythm of your breath, or maybe you're feeling particularly stressed today and you'd like to try something active, something that can help to bring a little bit of relaxation to the body. So we're going to do the most basic breath work that's out there. So what we'll be doing is noticing our inhalation, counting the number of seconds that we inhale, and then elongating the exhale ever so slightly. So let's say we breathe in to a count of 3. Is it possible to slow the exhale so that we exhale to a count of 5? So maybe it's like this: breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the idea is not really trying to achieve anything, not to trying to make the count longer, just noticing what is the natural inhalation. Maybe the natural inhalation is to 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just finding the natural inhalation and elongating the exhale a little bit. So taking a bit of control of the exhale. And so we have just around 5 minutes left in our practice time. So feel free to do either of those. Just pay attention to the way the breath feels moving in and out of the body, or actively elongate your exhale and notice what happens. Okay, if you've been controlling the breath, just let go of the control. Let the breath return to its normal, natural pace. Focus your attention there. And let's all of us see if we can fully focus our awareness on the next 3 breaths. Fully observing the feeling of the inhalation, noticing every detail of the exhalation. And now, I'll close our practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Congratulations, everybody, for making it through today's practice. How'd it go today? Did you notice anything while you were practicing? And I'm going to go ahead and have a look at the chat. So JE has said, I always have a reason to feel stressed. There are so many reasons to be stressed these days. I know. It's interesting, isn't it? And as you say, these days, I just kind of wonder, it makes me wonder, are these the stressful days? Or are there, or has it always been this way? I mean, that's what's interesting as well. Was it more stressful in, days before? Why do we feel more stress these days? Thanks for sharing, JE. Dirk says, sometimes I'm stressed because I'm stressed. No joke. 100%, Dirk. Thanks so much for sharing that. And I can relate to that. I go, wait a minute. Why am I so stressed right now? Why am I so stressed? And then that itself makes me even more stressed. Thanks, Dirk. Jean says, take 3 breaths to recenter. Thank you. Thanks for that. And also, I've got that gives me a segue to talk about my track called 3 Breaths to Recenter, which is a free track. So if you just in the moment, if you need a moment to recenter yourself, that track can be really helpful. Thanks, Jean, for bringing that up. Jeff Chung says, withdrawal from sugar and booze is a huge stressor in missing someone. Thanks, Jeff. And that's I know that one as well. So that feeling of wanting something or someone, and whether that kind of dependency we have is, physical or psychological or both, that can be a huge stressor. And what do we do in those times when that's missing? Thank you so much for sharing, Jeff. And Nina says, we're all cyclical. We all go through the 4 seasons each month. Your summer versus winter energy. Thanks, Nina, for sharing. Caroline says, job searching after being laid off 2 weeks ago for the first time with a few colleagues. Feelings of never enough. Thank you, Caroline. And, as we talk about setbacks last time, remembering that this is not permanent, as much as it may feel like very permanent right now. And that it's not personal, you're not alone. That you're not the only person that's been laid off. And I think, the other great thing is this community is a pretty good one. So thanks everybody for being here to support each other as well. So wish you all the best, Caroline. Jean says, yes, diagnosed with the neurodivergent of bipolar, the recognition of where you are is so helpful. Adding mindfulness to my treatment has been as beneficial as other methods, if not more. Thank you, Jean, for sharing. Well, no, it is more stressful. Okay, Yeah, it is more stressful. Okay. J.E. saying the world is more stressful today. The state of the world, the planet, the big increase in cost of living, and COVID is not over. Of course, there are so many things to be stressed about. And, what can we do in these times? And, that this is, this is part of it, right? Is that we've got this new information tool that lets us see crises in a different scale than we used to be able to. So we'll send our well wishes out here shortly, including the state of the world. Sybil says, my practice was very calming. I'm happy about that. Siffy, hi Siffy, great to see you. For me, losing a lot of people due to lupus complications. It's been a stressful week, but through this meditation, I feel more at ease knowing things are temporary. Thanks, Siffy, and it's great to see you again. Thanks, Jeff. Hi, Liz. Thanks for your donation, Jeff. And all right, it's time to send our well wishes out. So join me if you like in sending well wishes to ourselves and to others. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May the earth, our home, everything on it, living, non-living, here and now, may the earth and this entire universe that we are all a part of be happy and peaceful. All right. Thanks, everybody. Wish you all the best. Hope you have a great day going forward. And I'll be back on Tuesday. I haven't yet fully figured out the topic yet. It's probably going to be along the same lines of what we've been talking about. So just stay tuned for that. I'll probably be posting later today what the next topic is going to be. So do take care. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again next time. So until then, bye-bye.